Señoritas y señores, bienvenidos a otro video para Español 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your next YouTube video and I am going to show you all about Chapter 3B Grammar. And I am here in the classroom under the harsh fluorescent lights. Boy, it's bright in here. So you guys are on video number 14. This is 14 now. And we are on the chapter that has to do with dinner foods and also eating right and staying healthy and all that good stuff. But let's get going with the lesson because Señor Barbosa unfortunately doesn't have a whole lot of time for like an intro or anything like that. Not this time around, but maybe next time. So, stay tuned for that. So let's get right to it. Señoritas y señores, how about if we open up those libros? Well, actually, you could just see right over here that the first lesson is going to be something called the Plurals of Adjectives. Página 156, page 156 is the breakdown in the libro. And in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, when you're dealing with adjectives in Spanish, singular and plural rules apply, especially, this whole lesson is called the Plurals of Adjectives, but what makes it difícil is something that does not exist in English, where you also have to always be mindful of masculine and feminine rules. So it's twice the work in Spanish to correctly state plurals of adjectives. But again, hey, I know you guys are up to the challenge, so think positive. And don't forget that you're learning a language that's different than the one that you're used to, English. So try to keep an open mind, because it's a big world out there. And millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of Spanish speakers can't be wrong, So here we go, the plurals of adjectives. So you have to make sure, I just said this whole thing, just as adjectives agree with a noun depending on whether it's masculine or feminine, they also agree according to whether the noun is singular or plural. Line everything up all nice and pretty, If you want to make your adjective plural, add an S after the vowel. Not bad, right? So if it ends in a vowel, then just add an S. Easy peasy. Now, if your adjective ends in a consonant, then you're going to have to add an ES. An ES, So make sure that you make that adjustment. Let's take a look at some examples. La hamburguesa es sabrosa. The hamburger is tasty. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, la hamburguesa is sabrosa.
Can I have a custodian come to the large ship with the bleacher seat, please? The custodian to the large ship with a bleacher seat. Thank you.
Can't get any peace around here, It's late after school and they still, anyway, so let's keep going. Look at the second example. Las hamburguesas son sabrosas. All right, so take a look. The second sentence is plural. All right, so this time you add an S to hamburguesas and you have to convert the la to a las, and you have to make sure that you have the plural form of, the verb ser. Now it turns into son. You don't want to say it is anymore because it's plural now, so now you want to say something like they are. And then sabrosas, again, add that S after the vowel, sabrosas. But then also pay attention to this. Look at this. Everything has to be feminine as well in the second sentence. Well, it's feminine everywhere, So in addition to singular and plural rules, you always have to also be wary of if your adjectives agree in gender too, because it is incorrect Spanish if you say las hamburguesas son sabrosos. If you say that, you're doing it wrong, It's gotta be las hamburguesas son sabrosas. Las, feminine plural, hamburguesas, feminine plural, son, plural verb, sabrosas, feminine plural. Matchy, all right? El pastel es muy popular. The cake is very popular. Los pasteles son muy populares. The plurals of adjectives, everybody. So what was originally popular ends in a consonant, so now you add an ES. And of course, you have to make the other adjustments in your Spanish sentence. El changes to los. Pastel changes to pasteles to make that plural. Es, it is, now is son. They are muy populares. And so, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, attention to detail when you're writing your Spanish sentences is so important. All right? When an adjective describes a group including both masculine and feminine nouns, the default setting is the masculine description. Use the masculine plural form. All right? So if you got a mixed group of nouns to describe them, use the masculine description. La lechuga, feminine. Las zanahorias, feminine. Y los tomates, masculine. Whoa, that's a mixed group right there. So to describe all of those foods, if you want to say they are good, you say that they are buenos, son buenos, okay? So even though, in this case, los tomates, which is masculine, is outnumbered by la lechuga and las zanahorias, 2-1, you still use the masculine adjective to describe all of them at once, okay? And also, finally, ladies and gentlemen, you're learning how to say mucho, but then also if you say the plural of mucho, which is muchos, and then if it's feminine, muchas, it can slightly change its definition. So if you say mucho, it means much. But if you say muchos or muchas, now it's going to mean many. Muchas hamburguesas, many hamburgers, all right? No como mucha carne. I don't eat a lot of meat. I don't eat much meat is a better translation. But como muchas verduras. But I eat many veggies. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the plurals of adjectives. Next up, señoritas y señores, the next grammar lesson in chapter 3b, it all has to do with the verb ser. And it means to be. Now, we've learned this a while back, and we also learned the other verb in Spanish that means to be, which is estar. So now you have ser, that means to be, and estar, that means to be. They both mean to be. And we're going to get into very soon when you have to use the verb ser and when do you have to use the verb estar and what's the difference and when do you use one or the other. We'll get into that later in the course, but right now, let's focus our attention back to the verb ser, which is something that you've actually seen since the beginning of the school year. Okay, if you remember phrases like yo soy deportista, we learned that way back in August. Tú eres trabajador. Ellos son simpáticos. They're nice. Okay, so we've learned the verb ser before. But let's recap. Ser, it means to be, is an irregular verb. Use ser to describe what a person or thing is like. And in order for you to correctly conjugate the verb ser, let me show you how it breaks down. I'm going to stick with the book for this part of the video, okay? So let's recap. Yo soy, I am. Tú eres, you are. Usted, él, ella, you formal, or he or she is. Nosotros, sometimes nosotras, somos, we are. In Spain, they would say vosotros sois or vosotras sois, but again, in the Americas, we don't use that because we use this. Ustedes son, you guys are. Ellos son, they are. Ellas son, they, being females, son. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the verb ser, it's an ER ending infinitive, but it's classified as an irregular verb. In other words, it's not going to follow the normal ER ending verb rules that we learned in class. So you cannot drop the last two letters and then put new letters in their place. No, you're going to have to memorize. You have to memorize the way the verb ser conjugates. You have to memorize soy, eres, es, somos, son, the different flavors of the verb ser, okay? There's no other way. So this tends to be more permanent when you want to say that somebody is a certain way. Estar, the other verb that means to be, is more temporary. But again, the full breakdown as to what's the difference between the two, that's coming later. Use ser to describe what a person or thing is like. So characteristics that generally don't go away. That's when you want to use the verb ser. All right. Let's see. Oh, cool. You know what? Wow, that went quicker than I thought. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the fastest grammar video I have made for you in La Clase de Español. So again, if you ever are fuzzy on anything I teach, please come back to my YouTube channel and hit that button to go back and watch Señor Barbosa, do my thing again and again and again on YouTube. You can pause, you can go forward, you can go back. Really, I mean, there's so many ways to learn Spanish. You don't even have to learn it from me. You can jump online, and there's so many great Spanish teachers online, especially on YouTube. I'd like to think that I'm in that group, but just in case if I'm not, if it's important enough to you, then you'll most definitely make time for Español. All right. So that is it, señoritas y señores. Es muy tarde. Look at the time. Man, that is dedication from your pal, Señor Barbosa, but I gotta go. I got a familia that's waiting for me and a hot dinner. So, yeah, I'm hungry. Tengo hambre. I will see you in the next video, señoritas y señores. Thanks for watching, as always, and take it easy. Adios.